Well, Sephian, what tactic would work in the lower leagues? I have no idea because I've not tested a single one until now. Now, this is a test that I have done twice so far. The first time around, I was kind of hoping to do a set of seasons with a single team in the Vanarama National League and see how far they can go with this one tactic. The problem is, I can't do that if you have no transfers. So I tried to figure out how to do transfers, get the board to do the transfers, get the coaches, the team itself, whomever, to do the transfers as I just sim the season with that tactic being used. I couldn't figure it out. So if you know how to do that, let me know and I'll do this tactic test again. But for right now, what I did is I took Maidstone United, who is scheduled to be 23rd in the league. I did not do 24th in the league because Wealdstone United, who is supposed to be 24th and they finished dead last, is semi-professional. I did not want to take a semi-professional team and use this tactic because I didn't know if that would hinder anything. Everyone else is professional. So I decided to take the lowest scheduled team in the league as professional, and that is Maidstone United, sitting at 23rd. Now, the first time I did this test, that I only got through one season, they came in around 7th. Tactic working very well so far. But then, once I figured out I couldn't really do the tactic test I wanted to see how this would not only do in the Vanarama National League, but how's it also going to do in Skybet Leagues 2, 1, and the Championship. And you know what? We're throwing the Premier League in, so let's take a look. So the teams I have chosen, like I said, Maidstone United scheduled to be 23rd in the league at the very start of the season. Rochdale scheduled to be dead last in the Skybet League 2. We've got Forest Green scheduled to be dead last in Skybet League 1. We have Birmingham dead last in Skybet League Championship, or the Skybet Championship, sorry. And then Bournemouth, as we've seen in the past, in the Premier League, scheduled to be dead last. Now, how did all these teams do? As you can see, Bournemouth made their way all the way to 10th place. So again, 56 points, 34 for relegation. Not too bad for Bournemouth. I don't know how it would do for a Man City or a Liverpool type, but for Bournemouth, they did very well. Let's move our way down. For Birmingham, they are in second place, promotion bound. So they have done a fantastic job, 89 points right there. So overall, a great tactic for this team. Forest Green. Unfortunately, they only made it up to 18th, still out of relegation by 2 single points. So that is not a great one for that team. So there definitely will be teams that this won't work for. If you want lower league, this may be a place to start, but you've got to really see what your team, as always, is going to be able to have capabilities in. And this tactic may not be for you. Ladies and gents, another day, another shirt. Completely skipped over Rochdale in my review. So here's Rochdale. Ended up in 4th place. Not bad at all. 80 points, 1 point away from second. I will show you the schedule a little more in depth in just a bit. But as you can see, they did lose out to Northampton over a 2-leg playoff journey. So they are out. But 4th place from dead last, still pretty damn good. And then Maidstone United, we've kind of seen 3rd place for them. Unfortunately, they did not get promoted. They did lose out in the playoffs, I believe. We'll take a look at them later. But overall, 3rd place for a team that was scheduled to be dead last or second to last, not too bad. Now, if you take a look at the tactic itself, we had one tactic previously where the right-hand winger was off into the central piece. This time, it's the left winger into the central piece. But sweeper-keeper on attack, you have 2 fullbacks on support, no instructions, ball-playing defender on defense, a central defender on defense. You have a defensive midfielder on defend, a segundo volante on support. I have not seen those much these days. A central midfielder on attack, an advanced playmaker on support, an inside forward on support, and a pressing forward on attack. So, tactic is there. You got your Christmas tree somewhat type effect. In possession, fairly wide. Approach play is pass into space, play out of defense, slightly shorter passing directness, higher tempo, run at defense, mix crosses. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute to center backs, take short kicks. And then out of possession, higher press line of engagement, higher defensive line, prevent short goalkeeper distribution and trigger press much more often, and step up more in the defensive line. There is your tactic. It is a positive mentality, custom nothing. but it is a positive mentality, and there you go. Now, I am not going to go through all of them very in depth just because I want to make this a quicker video, but you can see the start of the season was not very good to Maidstone United, but then they really turned it up a bunch. They did not finish the season out very well, so they probably could have come in second if they had won any of these games, but overall, still third place for a 23rd place team, not too bad. If we take a look at Rochdale moving up the chart, schedule-wise, after the friendly season, they had a couple of wins right off the bat, but then kind of fell into a bit of a pattern. 2 wins here against Crawleytown and Accrington Stanley, but overall, 4 draws, 5 losses before they picked it up with another win and then another draw and a loss. A lot more spotty. Definitely a lot more spotty with Rochdale. However, 4th place is not too bad. They did lose out to Northampton in the playoffs, semifinal first leg and the second leg. So, unfortunately, did Northampton come up? Yes, they did. Northampton just was the better team, and they get promoted instead of Rochdale, but Rochdale sitting in 4th. Probably a little bit more money to play with in the transfer market. Forest Green in 18th is the one exception to this tactic that we've seen so far. 15-0 over Briscombe and Thrupp. I don't know, where are they? They're nowhere, that's what I figured. 15-0, 9-0 to Slimbridge. But anyway, wow, they really did not start the season very well at all. And they really didn't do much throughout the season. So 18th place is probably pretty good for them. But unfortunately, this tactic, not so much. Birmingham coming in 2nd place and being promoted to the Premier League next season. You can see they had a much better run of form. A couple of losses, a couple of draws scattered throughout. But as you can see, they didn't even get into the playoffs. They were automatically promoted in 2nd place. Not too bad. 7-0 over Huddersfield. Very well done. But everything else, I mean, 4-0 over Millwall, but a lot of 2-0s, a lot of 2-1s, 1-0. So they didn't win by much, but they still won, and they still are promoted. Now, Bournemouth, 10th place in the Premier League. As you can see, it's still a friendly cup, but 0-2 to Real Madrid. That is pretty good for Bournemouth. You would think Real Madrid would absolutely crush them, unless they're using their under-18s. But still, the start of the season for Bournemouth, not great. 4 wins up until the end of October. And then they kind of picked it up. 2-0 win over Man United, 3-1 over Wickham, then Newcastle, Club Brugge friendly. So overall, they had some good results, but very spotty. As you would expect, they are in 10th. Liverpool, they did draw 1-1. 6-1 over Southampton, though. And then finally ending the season, losing out to Chelsea 1-0 away from home. But 10th place, fantastic start for them. Now, just to take a look at the competitions and where they all lie, FA Cup knocked out in the 5th round by Brighton and Hove Albion, and then knocked out in the 4th round by Leeds. Friendly Cup, they lost out to Real Madrid. What can you expect? Birmingham knocked out in the 3rd round by Luton Town, knocked out in the 3rd round of Carabao Cup by Leeds. And then you get Forest Green competitions, knocked out in the 1st round by Colchester United, so not very good there. Knocked out in the 1st round by Swansea City, and then knocked out in the Southern Section. I have no idea what the Southern Section is. It looks like, nope, they did not do well at all. 3 losses completely. Rochdale competitions, knocked out in the 1st round by Barnsley in the FA Cup, knocked out in the 2nd round by Port Vale, knocked out in the Northern Section 2nd round by Lincoln City. So they actually made it through the 1st round into the knockout stages, and not so much there. So overall, so far, these tactics have not done very well in the cups. But if we look at Maidstone United, Vanarama National, you can see they lost out in penalties to Solihull Moors, lost out in the 2nd round by Tranmere Rovers in the FA Cup, knocked out in the quarterfinals by Eastleigh, the Build-based FA Trophy. And Eastleigh are another Vanarama National team. So, unfortunate for them. I would say overall, so far, the leagues themselves, except for Forest Green, this tactic has done really well. Maybe they use the kids in the other cup matches. Who knows? But they did not do very well in those whatsoever. But if the league is most important to you, there you go. It will be hard for a Skybet team, no matter if you're Championship, League 1 or 2, to get through the FA Cup very well unscathed. But overall, though, so far this tactic has been marvelous. Now, overall, most goals, Maidstone United have come in 80 with 85. Most shots for is 693. So you're definitely going to get your shots on there. Fewest shots against Maidstone United, so defensive as well. So not too bad there. Fewest conceded, Maidstone in 5th with 51. Shutouts, Maidstone in 6th with 16. For Rochdale, most goals, second in the league there, 77 goals there. Fewest conceded, not even in the list. Most shutouts, 6th with 17. Let's see, most shots for Rochdale, 677 coming in second. Most points per game, 4th. Most possession, though, didn't look at possession, 54. A lot of these tactics tend to be in the mid 50s or thereabouts, it seems. Fewest shots against, 5th with 456. Overall, about the same. Forest Green, however, I do expect to be a little bit on the downturn. Most goals, not in the list. Fewest shots against, not in the list. Most possession, not in the list. There you go. Most dribbles made, Forest Green. Fewest conceded, nope. I mean, they're not anywhere else in the list. They just did not do very well at all. Birmingham, however, well, you saw most shots for, 729 for Birmingham. Most goals, 3rd place with 75. Fewest shots against, 3rd with 380. Fewest conceded, 3rd place with 41. Dribbles first, there you go, with 1082. Wow. Most shutouts, 2nd with 21. Definitely worked for Birmingham. Best pass completion, 89%, 86%. Not too bad. And as we saw, most shots for. Most points per game, 2nd with 1.93. And then finally, ending with Bournemouth, and we will finish it out here. Stats-wise, they actually came in 5th with 57 most goals. Fewest shots against, possession. There we go. Most dribbles made, 868 for Bournemouth in 2nd place. Fewest conceded, 7th, 48. Shutouts, nope. Tackles, there you go. 6th place, 835. Best pass completion, most shots for, and then most points per game, not in the list. Overall, I've been saying this throughout this tactic talk. They've done very well. These tactics for all these teams except for Forest Green have done amazingly well. I highly suggest that you try it. If you're looking at lower league domination, I definitely think that this could be the way in. Now, if you know how to make these transfers work without me having to do anything for all these teams, please let me know, because I really want to continue this and see how it works. But for the time being, that is it for me, Seffian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel and the Lower League Domination tactic. So take a look, try it in your own saves, and let us know how that you fare with your team. So anyway, that's it for us. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and enjoy.